Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we watch RWBY Volume 4, Chapter 4, Family. Of course, make sure to click here to go to the official release first, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and then come back here and we'll watch it together. Alright, so last time, Chapter 3 of Runaways and Stowaways, I believe it was called. The two most important things that I can remember right now, okay, three, because I think one more thing just came to mind. One, we see Blake and Sun, get together on the pirate ship. They just bump into each other again. And Blake is heading to Menagerie, I believe, to see her family. So yeah, Blake and Sun are together. That's cool. Again, just platonically. Anyway, and then we see that Yang is still trying to cope with stuff. And she got a sweet new robot arm, or mechanical arm kind of thing, but she hasn't tried it yet. Like, she's just not quite ready. And then the third thing is, I believe it was in that episode, we see Cinder and Salem, and they're kind of just like, I don't know exactly what was going on. To me, it kind of seemed like Salem was trying to teach Cinder how to like kind of control the Grim in a way. I don't know. By the way, it's been a while since I've last watched RWBY, so forgive me if I need a little catching up myself. I've had computer issues lately, so yeah, if you've noticed that I was absent, that's why. So I'm actually really excited for this episode in particular because it's called Family. And if you didn't know, if you missed my reaction to the end of Volume 3, family kind of means a lot to me. Like, I'm mostly hoping in this one to see more of Yang and RWBY or something to that. I mean, I know that they're separate, like, just by distance in this series so far, or in this volume so far. So I don't really expect too much of that, but I'm hoping for something to do with Yang and quite possibly with RWBY. But there, of course, is the more likely one with Blake, since she was going to Menagerie to see her family, and of course there's also Weiss with her family. I'm expecting rather to see kind of a mix of all three, with it mostly being focused on Blake, and then Yang and Weiss kind of just like little side bits. Not so much RWBY because she's with Juniper, and I guess you could show her with them to be like, hey look, it's kind of like her second family, her adopted team sort of thing. But yeah, I'm just hoping for good stuff here, like a lot of good build up and setting up for the future and that kind of thing, so fingers crossed. And with that, I don't think I have anything else to say, so with that, let's get to watching. 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, so we're just back with the intro. Yeah. Okay, cool. Again, it has been a while, so I don't remember too much about this intro, to be perfectly honest. I want to say it's been a little while. It's been like 3 weeks since I've last seen a RWBY episode, or something like that. So it's not like forever, but longer than I would have liked, if I'm to be honest. But see, that looks like Blake's family, so and there's the big baddie of at least this volume. So far it seems like she's the big baddie of everything, but like, this volume is really the first time we're getting to see her, right? We've heard her before in like the opening narration and everything, but we never actually got to see who she was until this volume. And I'm just trying to think if there's ever been a build-up that has been like unexplained so far that could hint at another big bad. But so far, nothing's coming to mind. Hey, it's Farmer Boy, who we saw once and then never again, and I had no idea what he was doing. Well, I knew what he was doing. I didn't know why, though. It was significant. So, how are you, significant young boy? What? Do you not know you? What was that? What do you do? Crap, what did you say? Say it again, I was talking.
Hello, I'm Professor Osborne.
Oh! Okay, wait.
Oscar, you be careful with those tools.
I'm still confused. What was that? So I mean, like, I knew Ozpin was alive, but is that Our big thing? Okay, actually, never mind. This is more important. Hey, look! It's like everything's normal again, despite all the screaming. Oh, look! It's him! Hey, dude. You gonna do something with that sword? Can you not move, Yang? Sweet robot arm. It's pretty awesome. Also, I don't want to be that guy, but her bust looks smaller. Is that just me?
And then in comes Qrow, wearing a skirt. I was just a TA. I didn't know what to do, so I just left the room to laugh.
Wait, Crow's wearing a skirt? Why is Qrow wearing a skirt? I want to hear the beginning of this story.
He'd never worn a uniform before, so he didn't know.
Oh.
That is terrible. What is wrong with you?
Hey, the girls all said he had nice legs. I did that jerk a favor. Besides, that's
There
not
we
even
go.
the best part. See, then we...
Like what you see? Whoa!
You're old and have poor balance. She giggled!
Mrs.
That was positive.
Long, please join us.
Yes. Pull up a chair. Please pull up a chair.
I'm good. So what are you doing here?
Despite popular belief, teachers do have a life outside the classroom.
What?
Professor Goodwitch is working round the clock to restore Beacon to its former glory. But Mistral wasn't built in a day, and we all need some rest from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable.
Let's not worry about that right now. So, there we were, standing in the auditorium, looking at Qrow wearing a skirt.
Right.
And Oz tells everyone it's time to work on our landing strategy.
Keep going.
Broadway twins have always been interesting, to say the least.
That sure didn't seem to stop young Ty.
Hey, come on, man. She's right here.
Oh, please. She's a mature young woman. If she can handle combat, she can handle a few jabs at her old man.
That's not the issue, Pete. And besides, she's still a teenager.
She is also in the room and can be directly spoken to.
True.
And I think I've been through enough to be considered an adult at this point.
I actually missed what the whole fuss was about.
Adult or not, you still got a long way to go before you're ready for the real world.
Like,
Oh my
was it a
gosh,
dirty
does
joke?
Every
Or?
father figure just have the same 3 condescending phrases?
Yeah, but we only use them when we mean it.
Is that so?
As a matter of fact, it is so. If you honestly think that you're ready to go out there on your own, well, I guess you lost some brain cells along with that arm.
Oh, dude, did you just say that to your daughter? Like, are you even a dad?
Jerk!
What? What? She can't have taken that lightly.
About the Goliath in the room.
Doesn't know how to take
Mrs.
this.
Yang, if you don't mind me asking, why haven't you tried on the arm yet?
Oh, yes. A piece of Atlas technology being given out like that is rare indeed.
No, I'm
to
just
mention
not
the
over
effort
that
it
yet.
took to deliver
She
it.
has to, like, go
It seems
and privately
like
cry or
people
something,
want to
or I'm
see
gonna
it
have stuff to
come
complain
to
about.
Tom.
And I know that I just missed all that dialogue.
I'm scared. Everyone keeps talking about me getting back to normal, and I appreciate it, but this is normal now. It's just
Acceptance
taken
is
me a
good.
while to get used to it.
Well, normal is what you make of it.
What is that supposed to mean? Do you want me to just pretend like nothing happened? I lost a part of me. A piece of me is gone, and it's never coming back.
I'm gonna be really serious about this, even though I laughed at your joke just a
It's
second
not
ago.
coming back. But that doesn't have to stop you from becoming who you want to be. You're Yang Xiao Long,
Yup.
my sunny little dragon. You can do whatever you put your mind to. So whenever you're ready to stop moping and get back out there, I'll be there for you.
I just feel like I'm supposed to be liking this part a lot more than I actually am.
Any other emotion, it comes and goes. It's all in how you handle it. Why, even I find myself wrestling with that emotion from time to time.
Really? You?
He's afraid of mice.
They bring only disease and famine!
Yeah, that was good.
And don't even get me started on their tails.
Hey, finally music's back.
Hairless, simply unnatural.
Paul, I assure you, you're safe. There's no mice here right now.
The mouse part was funny. If I don't say that at the end, I said it now. Mouse part was funny. The rest of that, though, I just don't know. It's more awkward than anything.
Thanks for having us over, Ty.
Anytime. You're always welcome.
It may be a while before we return. There is still
It's like
much
she's
work to be
spying
done
on
at
him.
the school.
I hesitate to ask, but is there any word from young Miss Rose?
Not yet.
Have you thought about going after her? Trying to bring her home?
I've got to look after some things.
I mean, you guys realize she has a scroll you could probably contact her on, right? I mean,
Come on, guys. If we pick up the pace, we can hit the next town before sunset.
Assuming it's still there.
Of course it'll be there. This one's supposed to be pretty big.
Higanbana.
ah,
It's a well-protected village with a popular inn.
Which means
thanks.
no camping in the rain. See? Everything's gonna be fine.
You know, we've had a lot of ups and downs, but things could be a lot worse.
This is true.
We thought we'd see more Grim.
As did I.
I guess our luck is finally turning around.
Don't say that.
Higanbana!
Uh-oh. Is he just following them, keeping them safe?
Luck.
He has fantastic hearing. In. Not like good guy Uncle Qrow.
Oh, I didn't.
From the woman upstairs. Red eyes. Said you wouldn't mind bottom shelf.
Thanks.
But I went ahead and gave you top. Lucky you.
Thanks. Well, that was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, there are only so many people that we know so far with red eyes.
Hello, brother.
Raven.
Take a seat.
So, what do you want?
A girl can't just catch up with her family.
Yeah, title of the episode.
But you're not. How about we get on with it?
Bottom
Unless
shelf.
you plan on keeping these coming.
does she have it?
Ruby Silver Eyes?
Did you know Yang lost her arm?
That's not...
Rhetorical question. I know you know. It's just obnoxious that you'd bring up family and then carry on like your own daughter doesn't exist.
I saved her.
Once. Because that was your rule, right? Real Mom of the Year material, sis.
I told you Beacon would fall, and it did. I told you Ozpin would fail, and he has. Now you tell me, does Salem have it?
Not Ruby Silver Eyes.
Thought you weren't interested in all of that.
Salem what then?
I want to know what we are up against.
And which we are you referring to?
And what's the it? Stop playing the pronoun game. I need answers.
You should come back, Raven. The only way we beat her is by working together. All of us.
You're the one who left. The tribe raised us, and you turned your back on them.
They were killers and thieves.
They were your family.
You have a very skewed perception of that word.
I lead our people now. And as leader, I will do everything in my power to ensure our survival.
That is impressive. Leadership position.
I saw. The people of Shion saw too.
The weak die. The strong live. Those are the rules.
Also, are both those black bits her hair?
You
Yeah, she
certainly
has it
got
separated,
someone
okay.
Strong on your side. I've seen the damage.
We couldn't have known the Grim would set in as quickly as they did.
I'm not talking about the Grim. And I'm not talking about you either.
If you don't know where the relic is, then we have nothing left to talk about.
What's the relic, guys?
I don't know where the Spring Maiden is either. But if you do, I need you to tell me.
And why would I do that?
Because without her, we're all going to die.
And which we are you referring to?
I don't understand why you're such a bad person. I just don't get it. Like, you expect him to give you a relic? You're not even gonna give him a piece of information? Also,
Make this one a double.
Is teleporting not known in that world? I can understand being surprised, but I don't know about being, like, gasping, dropping the drink, and then having your knees shake. Unless that's, like, a dark thing, but, you know. Hey, it's a robot arm! That didn't take long, did it?
Okay.
I kind of thought it would have, like, attached to that brass, bronze, whatever nub thing that she had, but no. Hey, look! It's the ending! And I actually watched the YouTube version this time because I was late, and so I didn't, like, watch the roosterteeth.com version, and so it's gonna be the shorter credits. But here they are, they're just blasting through them right now, and yeah. All these things. Rooster Teeth animation, and it's suddenly over, so let's talk about this episode, shall we? Alright, first things first, let's talk about, that whole conversation that Ty was having with the other two with the two professors, and then Yang walked in, and then they had that kind of heartwarming thing, quote unquote, because I didn't like that part. It didn't make sense to me. First off, no, Ty first never should have made the joke about losing her arm, because that's a terrible thing for a father to do to his daughter in a position like that, you know? Second, since he did do it, Yang should not have reacted like that. Like, I just can't believe that she would find that funny after having recurring nightmares about it. And we see her just barely waking up from said, one of said nightmares. And then to, like, all of this, okay, so basically Yang right now, we see her going through all of this depression and all of this anxiety, all this fear, this PTSD kind of stuff over her losing her arm. And so then to insult her with that included, like, I get that Yang has always been that kind of snarky personality, that sense of humor, and I'm sure that her dad has it too, as we see, but just with that particular bit of information, just like that particular topic, I feel like should have been way more sensitive than it was. Like, it should have been treated with far more care. And because it wasn't, because he said that line and because she reacted the way she did, I was just not in that scene at all. Like, I was removed from it. I did not buy into it. And then on top of that, the scene that followed had no music. It was just silence aside from like the chirping of crickets. And so I just found it more awkward than anything. Like, if it had some kind of, I guess that kind of like heartwarming sort of music, you know, that you'd get during those kind of like deep, personal, but also inspirational scenes, like, then maybe it would have been a little bit better. But for me, after having first been like shut off by, you know, him making that joke and her actually responding positively to it, and then that scene, it just, yeah. Not to mention in that scene, again, there was that bit of like, I won't say it was contradictory, but Yang acted out contrary, where she was like, well, what's that supposed to mean? This isn't normal, you know, or whatever. And it's just like, oh, so now you're gonna get up in arms about it? That was not intentional. It's just that whole scene, the scene did not work for me, and it's so disappointing because that should have been such a big, like, turning point in Yang's current character development. You know, from the results of, you know, the end of Volume 3 to now. Like, first, I think it's a little early to have a change like that if they're going to postpone the change at all. But second, just the way that it went, since it was supposed to be such a big thing, and I didn't like it, I didn't buy into it, it's terrible for me. You know, for those of you who did like it, who thought it was the best piece of work, you know, fantastic, I'm happy that you're happy, but it did not work for me, and it's very disappointing because that was one of the things I was most excited about, was watching Yang overcome that hurdle. And granted, it's not that she's like completely over it yet. She just barely tried on the arm, but yeah, just everything leading up to it, it didn't work for me. So, yeah. Alright, before I forget now, let's go back to Farmer Boy thing. We heard Ozpin. That was a thing. Was Ozpin in the... I didn't see if there was a reason why the boy was so, like, thoroughly scrutinizing himself in the mirror, or was he scrutinizing the mirror itself? Like, did he see an image of Ozpin flicker in the back or something that I missed? Or was his hair just wrong? I don't know. I don't know if he was, like, for a second I thought when he scratched his head or whatever that he was a faunus who was, like, hiding his ears under his hair or something, and he was, I don't know. But then when Ozpin spoke, it's just like, oh, alright, this is it! And it's the kind of thing where I never thought that Ozpin was, like, dead, you know? I just don't think they would kill him off camera, and just all the fuss about him being dead, it can't be true. I just figure it's not true, and this, I think, really confirms it. Of course, it doesn't necessarily have to, but I already believed that he was alive, and so hearing this just cements that in my mind. But it was such a weird thing. I feel like it was such a weird way to introduce that fact, though, because we don't even know who this boy is. I still don't know. This is the second scene he's appeared in, and I still have no idea who he is or why he's important. I don't know why Ozpin would, like, do that. If I have to make some random connection off the top of my head just now, it would be because in the story of, like, the spring, fall, the seasonal maidens or whatever they were called, you know, the wizard dude lived on, like, alone on a farm kind of thing. Was it a farm? It wasn't even a farm, was it? No, like, because they helped him plant crops and stuff. I don't remember, but he lived alone. Maybe that's the home from the story, and Ozpin is there because he is the old wizard. I don't know, that's like such a stretch, but that's just the only connection I can really make right now. So just having something like Ozpin's reappearance, or the fact that he's alive, be, you know, like, mentioned, I don't know how to phrase it, with this random dude that I still know nothing about, it just seems odd. I can't make any connections, and I can't even speculate all that much, so I don't bloody know. Let's move on now to Qrow. I don't have much to say about Team Junior. What are they called again? Ranger now, right? It was between Junior and Ranger. I think it's Ranger. Anyway, I don't have much to say about them. It's like, yay, they're still together, they're going. The most important part about that for me was Qrow following them. You know, like I said, good Uncle Qrow. Like, just going, following them, keeping them safe and everything. I will say real quick on that note that I am not sure what Qrow's semblance actually is, because I was inclined to think that he actually could, like, turn into a crow, and that's how he was, like, surveilling people and getting around so quickly and everything. And that still could be the case. However, it seems like that theory is a bit shaken when we actually see Qrow standing next to a crow, and then the crow flies out over Team Ranger, and, you know, we still see him standing there on the mountainside, or the cliff or whatever. So it still is totally possible that he could turn into a crow himself, but I don't know, like, because that didn't deconfirm it, it just didn't confirm it. Like, I think it put more things into question. But anyway, moving on from that, again, it was good to see him, like, in the inn, a few away, where you could still see through the windows, you know, to Team Ranger. Those are convenient windows lined up perfectly for him to get that view, but that aside, you know, it was good for him to be there. I like Qrow, and I like what they're doing with him in this series so far. I didn't really love how they had the whole conversation with Raven, because it just didn't make much sense to me, you know, because it's just like, are we supposed to like Raven? I mean, like, she's cool, but we're not supposed to like her, are we? Because she's kind of she's a bad person, she seems, you know, like, she's very selfish is what it sounds like, and she says she's doing it for, like, the good of her tribe or whatever, that Qrow and she were apparently part of initially, but that he left. But then so were they both still a part of it when they were at school together? Because they seemed like they were fine when they were on a team, you know, the 4-person team, Stark. But now they're clearly not on great terms with each other. How long has it been since they last saw each other? I don't know. What's this relic they were talking about the Salem might have? I don't know. And then she won't tell him where the Spring Maiden is? Like, why not? Do you not realize that, you know, the bad guys getting hold of Spring Maiden might also be bad for you and your tribe? Like, I get that maybe they would want to just throw back the, you know, what we are you talking about, or whatever kind of line that, you know, Qrow initially said, because you get that ironic twist on it. Oh, but just for that, I don't know. It just seems like, oh, let's see how douchey we can make Raven here. And so I don't like her. And then again, too, with her leaving through the portal, where it was just like, and then the waitress. Okay, first off, the waitress, she totally wanted Qrow. Like, got you one from the top shelf? Okay, I mean, Qrow is good looking, so I'll give you that, but it's like, is that really the best thing you have to do tonight, ma'am? Is that the best thing you have? Anyway, I mean, I guess probably is. Anyway, no, aside from that, her being scared with Raven leaving through the portal was just kind of weird to me, because again, in this world of hunters and huntresses and Grimm and all of this crazy stuff with, like, you know, magical dust and the semblances and everything, I just feel like that would not be the most shocking thing you'd ever see, unless that particular thing, like, indicates something else. Like, if that's that color or that portal is the sign of badness related to this, maybe the tribe is known for being bad or something, and she connected it, or the dark powers. I don't know. It just, like, if that's not the case, it seems weird that the waitress would have as, like, strong a reaction as she did. So, yeah. Thinking back over the episode, I don't really think that there's anything else I want to talk about. I mean, everything else at the end, you know, including getting the new arm, that kind of just, it goes back to where I'm disappointed, because I was really looking forward to that, you know, little subplot. And I did not like I don't like how it's being resolved so far, like, at all. I don't like how it's being resolved at all, really, because it just didn't work for me. Just him saying that and her laughing about it, and then them having that talk, which to me was all contrary, and then the fact that it had no music, so it was just kind of awkward. I don't know. And again, I'm sure some people really loved it, and for those of you who did, that's awesome. Go you. Keep on enjoying it. But yeah, I definitely see why this episode was called Family. It did not focus on Blake's family. It actually did focus more where I wanted it, on Yang, but I'm disappointed by how it actually turned out, so oh well. We'll just have to wait and see what happens next time. So yeah, with that, let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, or the things that I talked about. You don't have to agree with me, but if you disagree, realize that you don't have to be defensive. We can just have civil discussions about things if you so desire, you know? I mean, if you want to talk about something that's in, like, direct disagreement with something I said, that's fine. Just don't, like, yell at me for it, okay? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, with that, we're calling it here. Cue outro, go!